You should know that when you go to the beach, you see the waves of the ocean. You see these waves crashing, and as you look at the ocean, you can also see the shadow or reflection of the clouds. It feels like you've seen beautiful pictures of nature before, and it seems like there's water with clouds above it, and the clouds look like they are floating over the ocean. What an amazing sight to see the shadows of clouds, or the clouds on the ocean's waves. But this is something visible to the eyes, so what's so special about it? But who knew that in the future, we would discover that there are waves deep under the ocean as well? When you go deep into the ocean, many meters below 200 to 600 feet, you find waves crashing into each other and moving forward. I'm going to share an article. Just look at the title. Does it remind you of anything? Have you heard anything like this before? But let's read this article first. Scientists began officially studying internal waves in 1970s. Before that, people talked about it, but we didn't have the tools or instruments to understand it. In 1970s, internal waves were studied as a phenomenon. If you look at this mysterious phenomenon, what does it do? Let's understand this mysterious phenomenon in detail. What's the detail? In this article, you'll find that this detail will reveal how 1,400 years ago, it was imagined with the naked eye, even in the intense heat of the desert. Internal waves, by definition, are found in the deep ocean. Internal waves are a particular term in ocean knowledge. But finding internal waves is like finding a white horse in a snowstorm. You can't see a white horse in a snowstorm. It's like looking for a black dot in the darkness of night. How will you find it? You can't. To understand this, 1,400 years ago, even 100 or 200 years ago, it wasn't possible to understand this concept with the naked eye. So, what do they say? They say it's a waiting game to spot an internal wave. It requires scientific equipment. Investigating and identifying internal waves require scientific tools. Science has never been able to fully predict the movements on the ocean surface, much less the movement of internal waves. They say that the movements on the ocean surface, which are visible to our eyes, can't be fully understood yet. How could they speak clearly about internal waves? Let's read the verse from the Quran. Or they are like darknesses within an unfathomable sea which is covered by waves, upon which are waves, over which are clouds, darknesses, some of them upon others. When one puts out his hand therein, he can hardly see it. And he to whom Allah has not granted light, for him there is no light. What's surprising is that these waves are mentioned as being beneath the ocean surface. If these waves were only on the ocean surface, why is it said that there are clouds above them? It means there are layers. The first layer is below, then another layer above it, and above that, clouds. This means the first wave, above which there are clouds, is the ocean surface, the waves we see daily, created by tides. Then there are internal waves, which can't be seen by the naked eye. These are the hints. Now, another point comes from this verse. The phrase, darkness upon darkness, in the verse suggests that in the depths of the ocean, where internal waves exist, it's so dark that even if a person were to extend their hand, they wouldn't see it. When scientists studied the ocean's depths, they discovered that light reaches the ocean surface, but 3% to 30% of the light is reflected back. The 7 colors of light, like in a rainbow, 6 of them are reflected back, and only 1 color goes into the depths. But even that fades after a few meters. This means that even if a person had dived into the ocean in ancient times, they wouldn't have known about the darkness below because, in their view, it was as if the light from the sun was always present. But internal waves, 200 to 600 feet waves, are still created today. The last part of the verse says, "Whomever Allah does not give light, for him there is no light." This is why we say that the light of guidance that reaches someone's mind comes from Allah. In the deep depths of the ocean, light disappears. This is why the light of guidance does not reach those minds that Allah does not allow. Turn your attention to Allah.